The Strait of Hormuz has been increasingly utilized to support military attacks in the region, including the transfer of military equipment intended for hostile action against Iran. This militarization has exposed international shipping to heightened and unprecedented risk of Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. In the meantime, the United States has continued its internationally wrongful act by imposing maritime blockade on lawfully seizing Iranian commercial vessels and detaining their crews. These dangerous escalating measures violate international law, breach the UN Charter, constitute the crime of piracy, and amount of acts of aggression as defined in Article 3 of the General Assembly Resolution 3314. Mr. President, as the principal coastal estates which the Strait of Hormuz lies within its territorial seas, Iran has taken necessary and practical measures consistent with international law to address emerging threats for safe and secure navigation, maintain the continuous passage of vessels, and prevent misuse of this vital waterway for hostile or military purposes. These measures are grounded in Iran's right and obligation under the law of the seas and its national laws and regulations, with a view to striking an appropriate balance between the security interests and the coastal estates and the continuous safe conduct of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz in a highly volatile environment. It is not bound by its treaty-based provisions except to extend the specific rules reflected therein and universally recognized as customary international law. Lasting stability and security in the Persian Gulf and the wider region can only be achieved through a durable and permanent cessation of aggression against Iran, supplemented by credible guarantees of non-recurrence and full respect for the legitimate sovereign rights and interests of Iran. In conclusion, I categorically reject the allegations made against my country at today's meeting. Claims made by some delegations lack any legal basis. They serve only to divert attention from realities on the ground and the commission of an internationally wrongful act by the United States and its allies. Those delegations have once again exposed their durable double standards, demonstrating that their concerns for maritime safety and navigation is neither genuine nor consistent with their actions and positions. They assert the navigational rights must not be threatened, but deliberately ignore the United States' unlawful actions, including the imposition of a maritime blockade and its recent terrorist attack on Iran's commercial vessels. The conduct that bears the hallmarks of piracy and hostage-taking and acts like a pirate and terrorist groups.
Good afternoon, everyone. In the name of God, the Compassionate and Merciful, as you are aware, the Security Council is currently holding an open debate on the safety and protection of waterways. I have just delivered my statement. In my address at the meeting, I emphasized the following points. Iran has consistently upheld maritime security and freedom of navigation in the Persian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, and the Gulf of Oman. For decades, Iran has fulfilled its responsibilities as a coastal state. Since 28 February, the United States and Israel have waged an unlawful war of aggression against Iran in violation of UN Charter, disrupting maritime security and threatening regional peace. The United States has imposed maritime blockade and has engaged in unlawful action, including seizure of Iranian commercial vessels in international waters and the detention of their crew, act that constitute piracy and hostage-taking. The U.S. action violate international law, the UN Charter, and constitute act of aggression under the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 3314. The United States is acting like pirates and terrorists, targeting commercial vessels through coercion and intimidation, terrorizing their crew, unlawfully seizing ships and taking crew members hostage. But no one from those who have expressed their concerns for international navigation dares to refer to or condemn this terrorist act at today's meeting. In contrast, Iran's measures in the Strait of Hormuz are grounded in Iran's right and obligation under the law of the sea and its national laws and regulations. Iran's lawful measures aim to strike an appropriate balance between security interests of the coastal state and the continued safe conduct of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz in a highly volatile environment. These practical measures will be carefully examined in light of evolving circumstances. Iran is not a party to the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. Accordingly, it is not bound by its treaty-based provisions except to the extent that specific rules reflected therein are universally recognized as customary international law. It is regrettable that some members, while asserting the navigational rights must not be threatened, deliberately ignore the United States imposition of a so-called maritime blockade that threatened international navigation. They have once again exposed their double standards. The concerns for maritime safety and freedom of navigation is neither genuine nor consistent with their action and positions. Responsibility for any disruption to maritime transport lies with the aggressors, the United States and its supporters. Any claims to the contrary is unfounded. I thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.